Hello and welcome to EBC Learning. Today we have a very special guest with us, Manisha Chaudhary. She is a young dynamic lawyer and, if I may say, pioneering lawyer as far as IBC is concerned. She has got collective investment scheme, investment in the collective investment scheme as a financial debt. Now this is a big thing she will be explaining to us in a while. Hi Manisha, welcome to EBC Learning. I was telling my viewers that you have handled the case of HBN Dairies. This is a case where the investment in the collective investment scheme has been classified as a financial debt. Right. Why don't you tell them about what was it all about?
So HBN, we have done this case since NCLT, since the inception of the matter, and today it is in the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, a resolution plan could not come through, so the company is now going into liquidation and filings have been done by the RP, who will then be the liquidator, hopefully. The matter is now seized with the Supreme Court, so with that respect, we will have to tone down what we discuss on that aspect. However, when they first came to us, and this is quite funny, and we had discussed and we were not very convinced to file HBN, and we were not sure whether this investment can be considered a financial debt or not. And believe me, it took us one month, 1.5 months, just to convince myself. And then along with other seniors, and we had quite a bit of discussion with the RPs, who we planned to hire, with the investors themselves, with certain brokers who were out of the scheme, not the brokers involved in this scheme, and other people who are day-to-day working on SEBI laws, and how to just make sure that this was something that we could pass as financial debt and file a Section 7. Seeing that the law was entirely new on IBC, it was also very difficult to understand and take a step back to see how and where can we fit it in the definition given in the Insolvency Act itself. After much deliberation, I had first said no. Then my partner, who's also working, and Raja Singh, who also works on this matter with me, he sat me down for 2 hours after a work day, and he's like, we have to file this, we have to go through this, we have to ensure that this is filed, and I'm convinced. And I was like, I'm not. And we had a discourse on this matter for about 2 hours till about 12 in the night, and we decided that yes, let's go ahead. I mean, at the most it will get rejected. Nothing less than that can happen. So post me and Raja Singh having a discussion on how we are going to file this, we gathered about 35 odd investors to a tune of about 90 lakh rupees. We filed this case to cross the 1 lakh rupee threshold. We did not have the time to gather the entire outstanding debt of 1136 crores because it would be just so not possible to do so. Even to get power of attorneys would be very, very difficult.
Yeah, that is what I was about to.
It would be very, very difficult. So we had about 35 people. We filed our case. It was presented before the President, Justice M.M. Kumar. He was very receptive to at least hear out what we had to say. And I believe he's a very learned man. He has propelled IBC to the place where it is today after passing brilliant judgments. Of course, they all have to go into appeal and a further final appeal with the Supreme Court, but then it has to be done. The law is new, nascent, and it's the best thing to do for the law, to build it up with judgments and try it out in courts. Once we filed, it took us about 8 months to get this matter at its final hearing. There was a lot of opposition, even from SEBI, because SEBI believes that it is seized of the assets. Rightly or wrongly will obviously have to be decided by the Supreme Court. One of the few, how we convinced the judge in the NCLT was that this is an assured return, and all the rigors which have been put up in the innovative judgments and in the Mobilox judgments, and of how a financial debt is going to be determined, can be done by this amount or this collective scheme. What we said is that it is an assured return. There is an outstanding interest on it. This is not an investment in any manner. And furthermore, there has to be that it is now become due and payable because the SEBI has passed an order. So to say that SEBI has passed an order, the debt is now due and payable, and a default has already occurred. So all those three parameters have been passed. and that is good to go. That is how we convinced. There were opposition from the SEBI, there was opposition from the corporate debtor itself. Once it went through, we were able to get an order. It went into appeal. The appellate court also upheld the judgment of the NCLT, and now we are before the Supreme Court. Notices have been issued. Everybody has filed a reply. Of course, it is the RP who is the main respondent now, since he's seized of the company. However, we as financial creditors have also filed a reply as interveners. We are represented by Mr. Puneet Bindra as our AOR, and the petition was drawn up by the reply was drawn up by my partner and I. And we will now be looking for the matter to be heard anytime. It is before Justice Rohinton, and it should come up soon.
Right.
So with regards to those points, we will not be able to discuss
obviously,
because the matter is seized with the court.